Right, so James, in order to solve this puzzle, we both need to press the button at the exact same time, all right? You with me?
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Okay, right, so ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, James, you didn't actually press the button then.
Yes, I did.
No. We both need to press it at the same time, together, at the same time, all right?
Okay.
No worries, mate. It's fun. We'll try again. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. He didn't press it again, did he? James, you still there, mate? You see, sometimes in video games...
Jules, can you hear me?
Yeah, so sometimes video game co-op modes can make things considerably more difficult, and I'm here to explain why. Hello all of you little demons, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and awfully hosted Tues Your Own Adventure, the weekly medieval themed format where I, the crown Jules of WhatCulture.com, take a list chosen by you. Yes, you the person who actually submitted the name for this list, but it was in the actual live chat, so unfortunately I didn't grab your actual name, but this is dedicated to you, whoever you may be. Enjoy this today. Yes, you get to decide what list I dole out to you each and every week, and today we're talking about video games that sometimes made co-op.
Jules?
Because today we're talking about video games that were actually made harder with co-op. And now, this is the thing. When it comes to video games, cooperative play is usually something that is a godsend to players. I mean, when the big evil of the land has got you backed into a corner and is about to introduce your mouth to its feet, you probably wish that you'd have somebody riding into your rescue. And in this medium, that can literally take place with people charging in, going head first, foot first, fist first, axe first to your rescue. And with another player or team of seasoned veterans by your side, it can make even the most daunting games far, far easier, as now you've got real allies that will actually stop to pick you up, pass your ammo, and don't just run off aimlessly. But yet, sometimes adding another player into the mix only makes a recipe for disaster. So let's take a look at them today, as I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 7 video games made way harder with co-op. Number 7, any Halo game on Legendary. Now, when donning the mantle of the big green tin of man spam that is Master Chief, it can be very easy to buy into the power fantasy that he presents, that you quite literally are the best that humanity has to offer. Yet, the experience changes somewhat as soon as you bump up the difficulty, as now instead of charging forwards, you're learning the meaning of tactical retreat in all of its forms. And here, on Legendary, the only ones laughing are the grunts as they toe punch your corpse over and over. So how could this experience get any more humbling? Well, by adding in some friends and the knowledge that all enemies double in health on this mode, known as Legendary, and will mow you down in seconds. And then multiply that by the fact that in some Halo games you aren't going to be respawning next to your buddy after you die, but back at the bloody last checkpoint, and you can see how that makes for a painful experience. And things got somehow even worse if you and your pals attempted the Vidmaster Challenge Annual on Halo 3, as here you'd need to complete the Halo level as a group of 4 with Iron Skull on, which resets the entire level if even one of you dies, and with everyone riding a ghost at the end. There are so many elements of this that can go wrong. So by the end of things, you're probably going to be -3 friends, even if you do get +1 achievement for doing so. Number 6, Portal 2. Now everyone knows by now that despite their often hilarious tone, the Portal games are no joke when it comes to brain-bending puzzles. Venturing through the testing labs and beyond was never a dull experience, as the player is challenged at every turn to think on their feet and be about 20 steps ahead in order to manipulate different portals and surfaces at a moment's notice. Therefore, with such demanding gameplay, one can only feel their soul die just a little trying to do all of this with another person in tow. Attempting to convey to another player that they need to fire their portal gun at just the right time and then move to another location and perform another action is basically trying to give directions in a foreign country where you don't speak the language. Plus, you've also got this scenario, which James and I will now act out for you today. James, are you ready to take the center stage once more?
Yes.
Here I am, walking across a bridge that my friend James Dowse has made for me with his amazing portal gun. Isn't life grand? Oh, I sure hope he doesn't delete the bridge at some random inopportune moment just because it's funny. Oh dear! This is your life now, continually trying to explain plans only to have them disintegrate thanks to either poor communication, timing, or just because your partner thinks it's bloody funny to drop you into that boiling lake of metal-eating acids. I mean, it totally is, but it's not helping. Number 5, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. So in case you hadn't heard, Dark Souls, both as a game and a way of life, big up to my fat rollers in the buffet of pain that is life itself, is a pretty hard ride. Yeah, you die. A lot, and even when you're not chomping on a sweet backstab, bro, you're beset with such depressing environments that it starts to feel quite bloody lonely at times. As such, you might be very tempted to call in a helping hand or two to make the brutal gauntlet between bonfires that little bit easier. However, before you light up that big fat humanity and pass it around the bonfire, maybe you should consider something. This is a From Software title, and as such, help is something rarely given without a price being paid. That's because even though the boss battles can be made significantly easier, being human also invokes the possibility of being invaded by other players. And let me tell you something, having to battle both PvP and PvD at once is no joke. PvD, for those not in the know, is player versus dickheads who constantly glitch out because of poor netcode. Plus, when it comes to Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, where you could summon up to 3 other spirits to help, players soon realised that certain enemies like Heidi Knights aggroed immediately, making the challenge even more extreme. Plus, with a full party, your damage is actually going to be reduced by 67% of their normal state, making chewing through even the most basic enemies an utter slog. And remember, the longer you spend in Dark Souls combat, the more likely it's going to be that you're going to make a mistake and die. Number 4, Double Dragon Neon. Now, in fairness, you could actually put any example of a brawler video game that has friendly fire in at this slot, but there is a reason. A real reason why I've chosen to put Double Dragon Neon on here explicitly. And I will tell you now. Because today we're not talking about Battletoads and the fact that your friend could kill you at a moment's notice by accident. We're talking about the much less infamous and, if we're being honest, much more inferior title Double Dragon Neon, which for fans of the series was kind of a low point. I say this because everything about this title feels kind of off, from the weird low-definition 3D sprites to the tone of the game that feels at odds with itself, in that it constantly promises a blast of 80s fun but delivers something utterly straight-laced and often boring. In fact, boring will be the order of the day should you look to 100% this title, as trying to get the Mr.'s Perfect trophy will make you bore a hole through your goddamn skull out of frustration, as this one achievement requires you to make it through a level in co-op without either person taking a single hit and friendly fire being on. Now, it's that last section of the achievement which proves to be your utter downfall, because no matter what level you choose to do this on, the screen often gets completely cluttered with enemies, and thanks to a rogue punch or throwing an enemy into your actual teammate, you're going to lose your chance at this trophy again and again and again, and it'll make you question what the bloody point of it all was. Number 3, Cadence of Hyrule. Now, for those of you not in the know, when it comes to dancing, the best way to describe my moves are that I have the rhythm of a person who is flatlining, and I kind of look like if spaghetti could feel pain. So when it came to playing through the Crypt of the Necrodancer video game and the subsequent Zelda-centric title Cadence of Hyrule, you best bloody believe that I absolutely sucked at both. As soon as the situation becomes even remotely stressful in either game, my rhythm-keeping skills go out the bloody window. However, through perseverance and intense concentration, I have been able to make some progress. Level 3, baby! I got down to floor 3, yay! However, if you think you've started to master what Cadence of Hyrule has to offer, prepare to have that dream shattered the moment you fire up the game in 2-player mode. As here, with players taking up the mantle of both Link and Cadence, you have to explore dungeons to save the land, all while staying on beat. And trust me, if you thought that it was challenging enough on solo runs, that is multiplied to the extremes as soon as you've got another player bungling up their movements and attacks. Plus, this mode throws up some rather devious moments in which you'll need to coordinate to hit enemies together or solve mild puzzles, and doing all of that to an ever-threatening metronome is like a death knell to your friendship. Number 2, Overcooked 1 and 2. Now, the phrase cooking up a storm is usually often to describe somebody who approaches the act of cooking with passion, intensity, and sometimes a little bit of ferocity. But when it comes to Overcooked 1 and 2, the phrase kind of changes a little bit and comes to mean, if you don't get that onion chopped in the next 2 seconds, I'm going to shove a lightning bolt up your bloody ass, and do not even think that a hurricane has got the same intensity as my controller throwing accuracy. I say this because there's no such thing as a chill moment in the Overcooked series, as you'll constantly be chopping, boiling, cleaning, and desperately sprinting to the past to serve food. It is relentless, and so too are the cuss words that will likely spout from your mouth the moment that you start to play this online with friends. Because here, somebody has to take charge, and barking orders at your friends when combined with time limits is never going to make you Captain Popular. In fact, it's going to make the entire experience an utter chore, as if your communication skills aren't up to par, or if your friends go into business for themselves, or just can't simply keep up with the hectic pace, you're going to miss out on those high scores and chew them out for it. Therefore, it's actually something of a simple pleasure to play this game on single player. Now, I know that's not the way the game is meant to be played, but it is far less stressful than having your supposed best friends yell at you for burning a stew or 10. I'm sorry that I get easily distracted. And number 1, keep talking and nobody explodes. Now, I know what you're thinking, James. Jules, you handsome idiot. What are you talking about? What words are falling out of your mumbly-bumbly mouth today? Keep talking and nobody explodes is solely a co-op game, so how can you say that it's made harder in co-op when that's the only way to play it? Well, guess what, my friends? It's back! The evil Finger Temple of Doom! Arf, 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 arf! Yes, that's right, the Finger Temple of Doom has made its way into these lists once more, because while it is technically true that Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is a multiplayer game, that's not to say that it is the only way to play it. Thanks to the ingenious mind of developer Devon Hurst, there now exists a bot that allows players to tackle the game utterly solo, with the bot reading audio cues and responding in its own voice back to the desperate bomb diffuser. Arguably, this makes for a much easier play session than with friends, as the bot immediately responds and does so with impeccable clarity. This means that you can rattle through questions and get hold of the situation far quicker than the panicked scrabbling and stumbling that real-life players fall prey to. Now, I know that it's not as much fun per se to play with a bot that has been exclusively designed to help you through this game, but still, it is so much less stressful as a result to do so. And you know what? The regular experience of this game kind of makes it feel like anger management courses sponsored and made this game. So yeah, I'll save some money and play with the bot from time to time. And there we go, my friends. Those were 7 video games made harder through co-op. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on Twitter at RetroJ with a 0, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice, where I do all of my streaming outside of work, and it'd be great to see you over there. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. We detailed a lot today about times that things were made more difficult by adding, well, too many cooks to the broth. That's not the saying, but you know where I'm going with that one. And I do want to stress, though, in real life, sharing a problem with your friends, your families, professionals in the support industry, that is something that I truly encourage you doing, because sharing a problem usually means that you can solve it far quicker. You shouldn't go through life trying to bottle up your emotions and make sure you're not speaking to people about your problems. Share those problems, get them out in the open, start a discourse, as painful as it might be sometimes, and start to get the help that you deserve, because you are a massive ledge and you deserve all the best things in life, and I don't want anyone stumbling across the way, all right? Big love from me to you. Now go out there and absolutely smash it today. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.